everybody, welcome back to Crafted by Norma. This is part 3 of our Staggered Envelope Journal. And if I'm honest, this is going to be my second attempt at part 3 because I did start a bit earlier, went through all of it, 17 minutes into it, and my camera decided to give up the ghost. So I was a bit gutted. So I've had to do some more prep and get ready to do it all over again. But never mind. So what we did was, in part 2, was have your main part of your journal completed. We'd stitched into the back your envelopes and had all those all prepped up, ready to rock and roll. So what I've done is, I normally, if I'm going to do anything, I normally do loads and loads of bits and bobs, so I sort of do things in batches. This is an ongoing project that I'm working on, which is a shoebox, which is going to have little sections in with all my bits and pieces, and this section here is all to do with pockets, tucks and flaps, etc, etc. So these are some that I've made earlier on, ready to put into the books. So this is now going to be my second attempt, so please bear with me. So what we're going to do in this part 3 is actually make all the little bits and pieces that are going to be where you're going to put your ephemera. So as I say, we've got all sorts of bits and bobs there that I've made out of the papers that I had left lying around, and we're going to stick these into the journal, ready then to put in your ephemera. So here goes. So part 3, second time around. So we'll start at the back, really, I think, because I did make one of these, which is a piece of paper which I've gone and folded. I folded up and over, and then cut down in a little slant, just to make a little pocket that's got a little bit more give in it. And all I'm going to do here is just put a little bit of wet glue along the edges, there, like so. Run my finger along them, and then we're going to put this on the back page of the journal. Oh, excuse me, just like so. And if I can, I'm going to try and do it as straight as I can, like so, and that will hopefully stick into there. Now on this back page here, I've already made somewhere, if I can remember where I've put it, here it is. I've made a little notebook ready to go into this back page here, and all I'm going to want across there is a piece of card, a piece of thin card, which I should have, like this, where the back of the book will actually flip over. So I'm going to glue this little thin strip here and here, or I might even put a little bit of double-sided tape as well as extra strength, and then the booklet can actually slide in and out and can be replaced. So I'm going to do it this way because the writing's upside down. So I'm just going to mark that there where I need to cut it. So I need to cut it just about there. So that's going to get stuck in there, and then my book can slide in that way. So just a little tiny bit of glue there, and there should be enough to secure it. And I'm going to want to put it about there, I think. And for that to secure nice and tight, I'm going to put a couple of my pegs, my bamboo pegs, just in, oops, to hold it secure for a little while. It doesn't take very long for my glue to set, which is quite handy. So I know that my little notebook is actually going to fit into there on the back page as extra journaling. So moving to the front, what I'd like at the front is just a little thing on the side like that, just like on my floral one, where I've put a little tiny pocket there to slide things in. So I'm just going to get my distress ink. Now with my distress ink, I always try and distress at an angle, so it's sort of, whoops, at an angle like that, because if I didn't do it at an angle and I did it starting straight down like that, I would have a circle, and it's so hard to try and buff that circle out. It's really, really difficult. So I always start on the edge and then slowly work up, and I have it at a sort of 45-degree angle, and then I don't have those that circle that is so difficult to try and get out of your work. And I'm going to plonk that there. Now as you can see just here, I've got my papers bubbled a little tiny bit, but once you've got all the bits and bobs on there, that's not going to really matter too much. That's going to be hidden with all the ephemera that you put in. There we go. And I'm going to slide that onto there like that. Now with these papers, they all match, but as I say, they were left over from another project that I did, so I'm quite happy to use them. They were just in my stash. And this is the idea of the make do and make again. Okay, so that's nice and firm in there. And then we've got a little pocket here, and I think what I might do there is put that one there as a little corner pocket. And again, I just go around the edges with some distress inks, and we'll just drop that onto there too. So a little bit of... Now obviously if you want to, you can make your pockets as you go along, or your tuck spots, or whatever it is that you want to build on your pockets. But for this, I'm just trying to demonstrate how easy it is just to add to your work, to your journals. And you don't have to put anything there, you can just put a little image there instead if you wanted to. Now, let's have a look. What have we got? Oh, no, I quite like that one to go there. Just as a little holding space. So it's just a case of going round and building up, ready to take all your ephemera. Now I do sell my ephemera in lucky bags on my Etsy shop, because again I tend to do things in bulk so I can utilise them again. And because I had so much at one time, I thought I would sell them as lucky bags. So please do feel free to check out my Etsy shop if you don't fancy making the ephemera yourself and you just want a quick fix. There you go. So quite happy with that one there. Now on this one, what have we got? Quite like that one to go on a written one, really. Would that fit there? To be a slot there? No, I don't think so. Oh, I'd rather have, I think, that one there as a slot, or would it be better that way? Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, I might have that one there, like so. And again, the beauty of having them already made, you can swap and change to what it is that you feel that you want there. And of course you can add belly bands, you can add all sorts of different pockets as you sort of go along. But this is just to give you some inspiration on how to do yours. And then again, it'll look so different once it's actually, take that off there now, once it's actually filled with all your ephemera. So, oh no, I've got a nice pocket one there, which would fit in there quite nice, I think. Oh, that needs a little bit more glue. Put a little bit more glue on there. Let's see. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, I think I'll put that one there. There we go. And of course, if you've got plain papers, you can always either stamp on them or you can stencil them if you just want to make them slightly different, or pre-ink them. There's loads of other formats that you can utilise. But as I say, earlier on I did all this. I was about 3 minutes off finishing the whole of the video, and the camera decided not to play ball, which was I suppose I would say annoying. Let's just plant those there like so, because that's nice and stuck there now. Okay, so we want something little there. I might put that one there. Yeah, so, but I tend to, if I can, when I'm doing a video, try and prep as much as I can beforehand, because I find it frustrating if I can't find anything and I go missing. And when I'm watching other people's videos, I'm very aware that you tend to lose sort of interest, and then you flip along and move along the video. So I try my best not to do that if I can help it. I'm not sure what to put there. Let's go back to the beginning again. So I've got a small one there. I can put something there small. So what have I got that's small? Oh, now that's quite big, but it would fit in that way, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I try and prep, and it can take me a day to get all the prep done in the various stages. So you're not just sort of watching me do the same thing over and over again, which when I'm watching somebody else I can get quite frustrated watching them do the same thing over and over again. The amount of people that they do this, trying to get their glue out. So again, I try my best to make sure my glue bottle's full. It's just simple things that but it's so hard. It is so difficult, it really is. Trying to remember to try and do all these things to try and make life easy for yourself. I do find it hard. Now this one's not going to quite fit there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down. Like so, put that my hole punch there. Or they will say they're looking for something and the voice slowly goes further and further away. But there's one particular lady that I follow, and English is not her first language, and I just adore watching her YouTube. She is amazing and she really sometimes struggles. And it's lovely when she says that someone else has been in contact with her to say what the word was that she was trying to find out. She is just so full of character. I adore her. I think she's brilliant. Because I have got a friend whose English is her second language, and she does struggle constantly with trying to get around the English language, which is something that I've struggled with all my life. Being part dyslexic, although we weren't called dyslexic in my day, we were just known as being thick, and we couldn't. We had difficulties reading. My mum could not understand it at all. She was a very clever lady, although didn't have the opportunities like we have these days, or the youngsters have these days, but could not understand why I had such difficulty in reading. But yeah, there lies another story. So let's have a look. We've got something on there, something on there. We flipped over, we've got something on there, we've got something on there. I could do with something quite skinny along there, or something quite big. Don't know. Let's have a look. I put that one there. And then all we can do in the next video is actually start to build up with the ephemera. We're going to do is I try if I can to make my journals themed. This one I'm just going to have as memories. So no particular theme as such. Although I will have some floral images. And I'd love to do one that's fairies. So I've started collecting bits and pieces, which is what I do. I tend to collect bits and pieces ready for my my ephemera, ready to put into my journals. So I've started collecting bits and bobs for fairies. And again, I've got a friend who's really good, and she's been also looking out for me for bits and pieces in her stash to see if there's anything that she can pass to me. So thank you, Linda. There we go. So I think I'm not going to put anything on there, I'll just put an image on that one. And I think that's going to be it. So for this section, what we've gone and done is get it ready for the ephemera and the front page when I decide what the front page is. So we've just added in pockets, little tuck places on all your envelopes, ready for it to be filled out with your ephemera. So I look forward to seeing you in part 4, and we'll see how we get on then. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to be informed when we're actually got a new video out. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.